up, I'd like to introduce a scientist with the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute, Davy Kline. So Davy is one of the newest scientists to join our Smithsonian community. He's a coral reef ecologist, and I believe he is stationed in Panama. Am I right there, Davy?
Yes, yes. I live in Panama
Davy, can
City
you
and
hear
do
me?
field work all around Panama. Yes.
Great. Well, welcome to the Smithsonian community. We are thrilled to have you. So coral reefs are declining rapidly and globally due to a plethora of stressors, including climate change, overfishing, pollution, disease. It can be kind of a depressing time to be a coral reef scientist, I would think. So, what gives you optimism that coral reefs can be saved at this point?
I think we're living in a very unique time where the coral reef community has decided that they need to work together and work with all stakeholders to really try to do something to save coral reefs. Climate change is happening, and globally we're trying to do things to slow that down. But the coral reef community is trying to use every technology and every method possible to work together to buy time for coral reefs so that by the time we have a handle on climate change, we'll still have healthy coral reefs for the next generation and future generations.
So, how have you been using new conservation technologies to better understand and protect those coral reefs?
Yeah, so I'm trying to collaborate with a wide variety of scientists, engineers, um, nonprofits, and basically we're trying to understand how coral reefs work from the cellular level all the way up to the ecosystem level so that we can find ways to protect and conserve coral reefs. So one example is we've been using the advances in robotics and machine learning to be able to speed up surveys of coral reefs and also to speed up the amount of time needed to get information. So basically, we can get information now in days that would take years using machine learning. And we're trying to, in the near future, we're trying to make it possible that we can get real-time analysis of the health of coral reefs so that we can use it for more effective conservation and management.
So, when you say machine learning and robotics, could you provide us and our audience with an example of what you mean by machine learning and how that helps you advance conservation?
Sure. So traditionally, the way we do surveys of coral reef health is we take photographs of the reefs, and it's a pretty time-intensive process where we're diving and taking photos. Normally, to get data from that imagery, we have to identify the species of organisms and the key invertebrates living on the reef. This can take months to years to get data from the photographs, but using machine learning or artificial intelligence, much like when you tag your friend's face on Facebook, the machine or the computer can learn the distinctive qualities of that particular species of coral, and it can automate it, and it can start doing those surveys about 10,000 times faster. So basically, we can get we can get data from our imagery 10,000 times faster, and then using robotics, which are basically underwater drones, we can collect millions of images every day over thousands of kilometers and use machine learning to understand how the corals are working and where they're in, that conservation and management can be more effective.
Wow. Well, we've got less than a minute left, but as a scientist, Davy, I'm curious for one last word for our audience. How can we best use science to inform coral restoration? So, to make restoration as efficient and sustainable as possible.
Yeah, I think good science has to be the basis for all coral restoration efforts. I think coral reefs are in such dire straits that we really need to use active methods like restoring coral reefs. And by using science, we can do that as efficiently and make sure that healthy coral reefs are really there for the future.
Phenomenal. Well, it's wonderful to welcome you to the Smithsonian team, and I'm thrilled to have had an opportunity to meet you virtually today through the Earth Optimism Summit. So thank you for joining us, Davey, and I hope you're having a wonderful Earth Week.